All right, let's dive in. This time you guys have really upped the ante.
Yeah.
Instead of our usual articles and research, we've
Yeah.
got excerpts from a novel, character notes,
Yeah.
even a draft prologue.
Really?
It's like we're putting together a puzzle where the pieces are still being written.
That's, well, it's fascinating that we're not just analyzing a story, right?
Yeah.
It's more like we're detectives in this fictional world.
Mhm.
It's like we've got a real-life murder board,
Yeah.
only, thankfully,
Fictional.
fictional stakes this time.
Exactly. And the challenge here is to treat everything in these sources as like actual facts
Yeah.
within that world. So like it all happened. Our goal is to figure out who is behind these influencer murders and the why. More importantly, the why.
The motive.
Yes. First up, let's meet our victims. Bella Sanchez found murdered in St. Lucia.
Okay.
Mark Gooch in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And Andrew Fairbanks.
Yes.
His unfortunate end involved a yacht and a shark attack. On the surface, their lives, their careers, totally unconnected.
Oh, but there's a thread
But there is.
that links them all together.
Yes.
All three
What is it?
were clients of Maximum Impact Solutions.
Oh.
It's a firm
Okay.
that specializes in security and what they call problem solving for, high-profile individuals. So it makes you wonder, what sort of problems are we talking about here?
Right.
And could this company be more than just a coincidence
Yeah.
in this whole murder mystery?
Right. Is it just a coincidence, or is Maximum Impact Solutions a little more sinister than they appear?
Yeah.
That brings us to Amy Wheeler.
Ah, Amy.
Yes.
Amy. She's a highly skilled operative,
Okay.
and she works for, you guessed it,
I was going to say.
Maximum Impact Solutions. And here's where it gets really interesting.
Uh-oh.
According to all this material, Amy was near each murder location just before the deaths. So the question is, was she a witness? Was she a suspect? Or was somebody trying to frame her for these murders?
Okay, so let's unpack Amy a bit. She's guarded, secretive. A difficult childhood led her to, build up walls around herself. She's clearly been trained to suppress her emotions. But then we have this very interesting detail.
Okay.
She breaks down crying when she encounters a spider during a meditation session.
Huh. That small detail could actually be a key insight
Yeah.
into her character. It suggests that maybe underneath that tough exterior,
Right.
she's got this deep-seated fear, maybe even a trauma,
Yeah.
lurking there. And, that might be influencing her actions.
Yeah, yeah.
That's something that someone could exploit.
So we have a company that specializes in problem solving.
Right.
We've got an operative who might be more than she seems. We have a string of murders. It's like this big tangled web. And the name that keeps coming up is Francois Lube.
Ah, Lube.
And,
Lube is a fascinating
Right.
character. He's described as, well, a criminal mastermind. He's a ghost
Right.
who specializes in money laundering and using these influencers,
Oh,
these
right.
unsuspecting couriers.
Yeah.
He's
Wow.
incredibly meticulous. He's got layers of encryption, aliases to stay hidden.
Good nerd.
He even uses, get this, AI to write his emails.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's got this, persona of a, friendly English gentleman,
Right?
to mask his real intentions.
I mean, that's scary. These excerpts of his notes, we see that he's really concerned about loose ends.
Yeah.
And Amy Wheeler's at the top of that list. He even mentions her by name. He's like, does she need to be disposed of?
Wow.
So she's become a liability. But why? What makes her so dangerous to him?
That's a great question. Is she knowingly, in on his scheme, or is she being manipulated without even knowing it?
Yeah.
And if she's a threat to Lube, what role does Maximum Impact Solutions play in all of this?
Okay. Excellent points. Now, remember Joe Blow? That mysterious alias? Well, the source material reveals his true identity, Max Highfield.
Max Highfield.
The famous action movie star.
Oh, wow.
And, get this, a Maximum Impact client himself.
Ironic.
Talk about a plot twist.
Yeah, it's more than a twist. It's like a strategic move by, I guess, the writer
Oh, yeah.
to, challenge how we see things, right?
Yeah.
You see Mac, he's a tough guy. On screen, he's the hero,
Yeah.
and you automatically assume you can trust him.
Right.
But the clues They're all there. The obscure movie reference,
Mm-hmm.
Max's financial ties to these murdered influencers and these huge introduction fees that he's getting for, like, bringing in new recruits into
Ah.
Lube's operation.
So it's like, don't judge a book by its cover or an action star by his on-screen persona.
Exactly.
So we have this intricate web, all these powerful players, and then we have our unlikely trio that are trying to untangle it all.
Yeah, the investigators. An interesting mix.
Steve. Yeah.
Amy's father-in-law, retired policeman, wants the quiet life.
Yeah.
Then you've got Rosie D'Antonio,
Yes.
famous novelist, loves adventure, tequila,
Yeah.
and she's always got a witty comeback for everything.
Always.
And let's not forget Hank,
Right. Hank.
Jeff's former colleague
Yes.
from Maximum Impact, with his dry wit and surprising fascination with botany.
I love that the writer took the classic detective trio and made it quirky.
Right.
We've got Steve, the grounded investigator. He's pulled back into this world that he left behind. Rosie's treating this as one giant adventure, always ready with a quip, even in the face of danger. And then Hank, looking at the details that everyone else misses.
Right. He's methodical.
Exactly.
And it's their unique dynamic
Yeah.
that makes this story so compelling. I mean, they approach this whole investigation from such different angles, and yet their strengths complement each other in these unexpected ways.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve's experience as a policeman,
Yeah.
that provides a solid foundation. Rosie's intuition, her unconventional methods,
Yes.
often lead to breakthroughs.
Absolutely.
And Hank, with his analytical mind,
Yeah.
he connects the seemingly random dots.
And as they dig deeper into this, they find themselves in Dubai, the city of gold, luxury, and intrigue. It's the perfect setting
The perfect set.
for a conspiracy of this magnitude.
Yeah.
I mean, a global hub where money flows freely and secrets are traded like commodities.
Dubai's got this allure, right? It's
Yeah.
this duality to it.
Mm.
On the surface, it's a playground for the wealthy. It's this shimmering oasis, opulence, and extravagance.
Mm-hmm.
But beneath all the glitz and glamour, there's a much darker underbelly,
Yeah.
shadowy dealings, hidden agendas, and a lot of people operating outside the boundaries of the law.
Right. It's within this very complex and
Yeah.
treacherous landscape that their investigation takes a dramatic turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so they encounter Rob Kenna, Lube's middleman. Charming DJ, also an assassin for hire. Talk about a side hustle.
Wow.
But during this encounter, Kenna receives a text from Lube.
Yeah.
Eliminate Amy Wheeler. She has become a liability that Lube is ready to silence.
Wow. Kenna, I mean, he embodies that duality of Dubai, right?
Yeah.
He blends seamlessly into the scene.
Right.
But then underneath, his true nature, cold-blooded efficiency, operating in the shadows.
So that means that Amy is getting close to the truth, and she poses a threat to Lube's whole operation.
Right.
But just when you think it can't get any more complicated, Steve and Rosie run into Vasily Karpin, Russian oligarch, who just casually mentions that he had hired a hitman to kill Rosie, but then he called it off.
This confession is intriguing, isn't it? It highlights, first of all, how volatile this whole world is, right?
Yeah.
These life and death decisions just made with, this chilling nonchalance. But it also begs the question, why would Karpin admit to something like that?
Yeah.
Is he actually telling the truth about, calling off the hit?
Right.
Or is there something else going on, some hidden motive?
Okay, so many questions. And we haven't even gotten to Eddie Flood, the hitman with the penchant for writing, who was hired to kill Amy but failed.
Right.
But he was asking a lot of questions about Rosie.
Yes.
Back at the airport.
Right.
In South Carolina.
Flood adds another layer of complexity, doesn't he? I mean, his motives, they're not clear.
Yeah.
His methods are unpredictable.
Yeah.
He's a wild card in this already very volatile game.
Yeah.
And his literary aspirations, his fascination with Rosie, all suggest there's more to him than we see on the surface.
Totally.
So is he just a pawn in somebody else's game?
Right.
Or is he operating on his own agenda?
Yeah.
And what role, if any, will this interest in Rosie play in all of this?
Okay, it's like every layer we peel back reveals another twist, another layer of intrigue. And then we're introduced to Bonnie, A struggling single mom and aspiring influencer who gets caught up in all of this through Felicity Williston, the owner of Vivid Viral. Now, Vivid Viral appears to be a legitimate agency, but it turns out it's a front for Lube's money laundering operation.
Wow. Bonnie's character is it's a stark reminder of the human cost of all these schemes, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's a good person. She's caught up in this web of deceit.
Right.
Her desire for a better life for her kids makes her vulnerable to exploitation. Her involvement in this whole conspiracy takes a turn when she unknowingly transports this bag filled with £1 million.
£1 million.
To Sao Paulo, only to have it stolen from her at the airport.
Wow. Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time, but it also highlights, the ripple effect of Lube's actions.
Yeah.
So Bonnie, an innocent bystander, is suddenly thrust into a world of danger, uncertainty, £1 million hanging over her head.
It raises the stakes considerably, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It's not just the threat of violence, right? Now we've got this significant financial element at play as well.
Yeah.
So who stole the money? And how's Bonnie going to, navigate this dangerous situation?
Yeah.
I mean, these questions will, without a doubt, drive the rest of the narrative,
Absolutely.
as we go deeper into this whole conspiracy.
And speaking of Vivid Viral and its seemingly unassuming owner, Felicity Williston, Steve's investigation uncovers some rather interesting details.
Okay.
Yeah.
Felicity, she presents herself as, successful businesswoman, but her story's got inconsistencies that really raise some red flags.
Yeah.
I mean, for somebody running a digital media company, she seems surprisingly detached from her clientele.
Yeah.
Particularly these influencers.
Yeah.
Connected to the murders. So it makes you wonder, how much does she really know about what's going on in her own company? Is she a willing participant in Lube's operation?
Yeah.
Or is she just another pawn in his game?
And get this, an introduction fee of £10,000 was paid to Max Highfield.
£10,000
for every influencer recruited to Vivid Viral. Coincidence? I think not. It sees Max's involvement as more than we thought.
This discovery, it confirms, what we thought about Max, and it raises further questions about what Felicity's business is really all about.
Yes.
It also hints at, the intricate network of connections and these financial transactions that underpin Lube's whole operation.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, Each revelation reveals another layer or complexity.
Yeah.
Another twist in this crazy plot. And as we follow Steve and the gang on their journey from the English countryside to the Caribbean to St. Lucia, the tension continues to build, and the lines between right and wrong, they become increasingly blurred.
That's a testament to the writer's skill in crafting a narrative, right? I mean, they're keeping us engaged.
Absolutely.
They're keeping us guessing, right?
Yeah.
We're on the edge of our seats the whole time.
Yeah.
And this world that they've created is both familiar and unsettling at the same time.
Yes.
It reflects those complexities of our own society, where ambition and greed and the pursuit of power can lead to, devastating consequences.
As the investigation heats up, our heroes will need all their wits, all their courage, and maybe even a few punches and witty comebacks to survive. But that, my friend, is a story for part 2 of our deep dive.
I can't wait.
I know. Stay tuned.
Right.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. Last time, things got pretty intense.
Yeah.
£1 million missing.
Oh, yeah.
A shadowy network of criminals targeting influencers. Our unlikely heroes caught in the middle of it all. So let's pick up where we left off. Steve and Rosie are in St. Lucia.
Okay.
Trying to stay one step ahead of those who want them silent.
Right. And St. Lucia,
I know.
This tropical paradise becomes like this hunting ground as Amy finds herself the target of a ruthless assassin. Remember Kevin?
Oh, yes.
Seemingly loyal bodyguard.
Right.
Turns out he was hired
by,
you guessed it,
Rob Kenna.
Our
the DJ.
Charming DJ/assassin.
Oh, goodness.
From Dubai.
So this confirms that Amy is a serious threat to Lube's whole operation.
Absolutely.
But what I find interesting is how they managed to escape And outsmart this professional assassin.
Yeah, their escape is a real testament to how adaptable they are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Steve, he's methodical, right?
Yes.
Rosie's unpredictable.
Yes.
They manage to anticipate Kenna's every move.
Right.
They use the environment to their advantage.
Absolutely.
It's a thrilling sequence.
Yes. It really is.
It highlights,
Yeah.
just how resourceful these unlikely heroes are.
And they don't just escape. While searching the murdered Sheriff Scroggy's computer, they find evidence linking him to Andrew Fairbank's death on the yacht.
This changes everything.
I know.
I mean, it seems like Scroggy,
Yeah.
he was operating outside the law,
Yeah.
maybe even working for somebody else
Right.
entirely. There's also information connecting Scroggy to Eddie Flood,
Right. The hitman.
the hitman.
So now the question is,
Yeah.
are there multiple people or groups
Right.
targeting Amy?
It's a possibility we can't ignore. Right.
Right.
I mean, are we talking about, Lube just trying to tie up loose ends?
Right.
Or is there some rogue element
Yeah.
at play here? A rival, maybe.
Right.
Somebody with a personal vendetta.
And remember, Amy's blood was found at one of the crime scenes.
Oh, right.
So they're not just trying to uncover a conspiracy. They're trying to clear her name.
Absolutely. So they're in a race against time
Yeah.
with danger at every turn.
Right.
Right. And just when you think they've caught a break,
Right.
another obstacle. Jeff's former colleague
Yeah.
from Maximum Impact, he arrives
Right.
in St. Lucia, seemingly,
Right.
to check on Amy
Yeah.
and make sure she's safe.
Well, is he really there to help?
Right. Or does he have, his own agenda? I mean, remember,
Yeah.
Hank's got this history of manipulating clients,
Oh, that's right.
using their fears,
Yeah.
for profit.
So Hank's arrival
Yeah.
casts doubt on everything.
Yeah.
He claims to have evidence
Okay.
pointing to Jeff's involvement
Oh, wow.
in the conspiracy, highlighting these suspicious financial transactions and
Yeah.
connections to Lube. But can they trust his information?
Yeah. Can we trust him? Is he genuine?
Yeah.
Or is this,
Another manipulation.
another one of his tactics?
And this creates a really fascinating dynamic within the group because Steve, who has always been a bit wary
Yeah.
of Jeff and Maximum Impact Solutions,
Yeah.
is more inclined to believe Hank.
Right.
Rosie, she's a bit more skeptical. She senses something's off about Hank's motives.
Right. Their different perspectives
Yeah.
on all this really highlight the, how complex trust and betrayal can be.
Absolutely.
I mean, who do you believe?
Right.
When everybody has something to gain or lose.
Exactly.
And then they confront Jeff at the Brass Monkey Pub.
It leads to this very tense standoff
Right.
and this chaotic escape from the police. It's a real turning point in the story where alliances shift.
Yeah.
The truth becomes even more elusive.
Yeah. And the writer,
Yeah.
they really build the suspense, right?
Oh, they do.
I mean, we're on the edge of our seats.
Yeah.
That scene at the pub was electric, right?
Yeah.
All that tension, that uncertainty.
Yeah.
We see the conflicts,
Yeah.
the struggle
It's
for
a lot of
control,
pull.
and then that
Yeah.
that realization
Yeah.
that the truth, it can be messy.
Yes, it can be.
And it can be painful.
It really can. And just as they're reeling from this confrontation
Yeah.
and trying to make sense of everything,
Yeah.
they get some devastating news.
Oh, no. What is it?
Jeff has been murdered. His blood was found
Oh.
in his abandoned car.
Jeff's death
Oh,
changes
wow.
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it raises the stakes even higher.
Right.
It creates this sense of urgency,
Yeah.
desperation.
Yes.
Their
Yeah.
leader's gone.
Yeah.
The police are closing in.
Yeah.
The truth is still buried.
Right.
So they're forced to make this really difficult decision.
Mm.
Do they keep going with the
Yeah.
investigation,
Right.
risk their lives
Yeah.
to expose Lube
Yeah.
and clear Amy's name?
Right.
Or do they, put their own safety first
Right.
and disappear?
It's crossroads.
And
Perfect.
whatever they decide, it's going
Yeah.
to have far-reaching consequences.
And they choose to continue.
Wow.
They choose to continue, and they embark on this daring mission
Okay.
to infiltrate Lube's inner circle and bring him down from within.
Yeah.
But with Eddie Flood still on their trail,
Right.
the mysterious Francois Lube
Yeah.
operating in the shadows their journey is far from over.
I mean, it's both brave and reckless at the same time, right?
Yeah.
They're facing these powerful adversaries.
Yeah.
These people with seemingly unlimited resources. But,
Yeah.
it's their determination,
Yes.
their refusal to back down in the face of danger that makes them so compelling.
Absolutely.
Either fighting for justice,
Yeah.
they're fighting for the truth, and ultimately, for their own survival.
Absolutely.
And as they go deeper, right, into this conspiracy, the line between right and wrong, it becomes more and more blurred, and it forces them to confront their own morals and make these difficult choices.
That's right.
That will have lasting repercussions.
Absolutely.
It's a reminder that even in a fictional world, the pursuit of the truth can have a high cost.
Yeah.
It demands sacrifices, right?
Yes.
It forces these individuals to confront their own vulnerabilities. And a lot of times, it leads them down a path that they never saw coming.
Right.
The question is, are they willing to pay the price?
Yes.
I guess we'll find out
We will.
in the final part of our deep dive.
Welcome back to our deep dive. Last time, we left our fearless trio reeling from Jeff's death, and honestly, more questions than answers. They're on a mission to expose Lube, and they believe he'll be at the Diamond Conference in Dubai.
Ah, the Diamond Conference. It's the perfect setting for someone like Lube, right? It's a world of luxury, power, discretion, fortunes are made and secrets are kept.
It's a glittering facade.
Right.
Concealing a network of influence and corruption.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell who's genuine and who's got something.
Yeah, who has an ulterior motive.
Exactly.
And as they navigate this treacherous social landscape, they encounter a whole cast of characters. I mean, Vasily Karpin, remember the flamboyant Russian oligarch we had encountered before?
Right.
And, of course, Rob Kenna, Lube's charming but deadly right-hand man. He is still determined to eliminate Amy.
Kenna. I mean, he just...
I know.
He underscores the danger they're in, right?
Yeah.
He's like...
like a phantom.
Yeah, a phantom lurking in the shadows, just waiting...
Waiting to strike.
For the perfect moment,
And, Amy's combat skills and instincts, they are really put to the test as she evades all of Kenna's attempts to silence her.
Yeah, it's a testament to her training and her resilience, right?
Oh, absolutely. And amidst all this danger, Rosie, with her wit and tequila, she continues to be a force to be reckoned with. She uses her celebrity to gather information, charm it out of people, create diversions when needed. Yeah,
and she's just so quick-witted and resourceful, even when things are really dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, she understands that sometimes, a distraction, a witty remark can be just as effective as any weapon.
Totally.
She embodies this idea that even when things are really dark, a bit of humor and defiance can really go a long way.
Absolutely. But it's not all glitz and glamour. As they dig deeper, they uncover a crucial piece of the puzzle. It's Max Highfield. Remember, he was recruiting all those influencers for Vivid Viral. Well, it turns out his role was much more sinister.
Oh, wow.
Than we initially thought. He was feeding Lube information about the influencers. Personal details, vulnerabilities, everything Lube needed to manipulate and exploit them.
Oh, this revelation about Max.
Oh, no.
It's pivotal, right?
It is.
It shatters that image of the charismatic action star, and it reveals, this ruthless manipulator just driven by greed and a really twisted sense of loyalty.
It cuts deep, especially for those who considered him a friend.
Yeah, it's a reminder that appearances can be deceiving.
Absolutely. And speaking of betrayal, that confrontation at the Brass Monkey where Steve reveals Max's involvement in Jeff and Hank. I mean, that really highlights the shifting alliances and just the breakdown of trust that happens, and then the ensuing chaos and the escape from the police. It leaves us breathless.
It's the writer does such a great job.
They do.
Of building the suspense.
Oh, they do.
Keeping us on the edge of our seats. That pub scene. it's electric.
Yeah, it is.
There's tension, there's uncertainty.
Yeah.
We see that conflict.
Yes.
The struggle for control, and then finally that realization that the truth is just, it's messy.
It is messy.
It can be really painful.
And then we have Felicity Williston,
Right.
the owner of Vivid Viral. Initially, she seemed like she was just completely oblivious to the criminal activity happening within her company. But it turns out she knew more than she let on.
Felicity's character is
complex.
It's complex.
Yes.
You know, she knows about Lube's operation, but she chooses to ignore it.
Yeah.
She justifies it as a way to survive in this ruthless industry. And it raises this really tough question.
Yeah.
How far would we go
Right.
to protect our own interests?
Exactly. Where is that line?
Exactly.
Between ambition and morality? Right. It's definitely a gray area. And then there's Bonnie.
Oh, Bonnie.
The single mom who got caught up in the money laundering. Remember that £1 million that was stolen? Yeah. Well, instead of reporting the theft, she decides to keep it, believing it's a sign from her deceased father. A chance to finally give her kids a better life.
Yeah, and Bonnie's decision, while it's ethically questionable,
right.
I mean, it really speaks to her desperation, how much she loves her children.
Absolutely.
She's a woman who's always struggled. You know, she's been overlooked, she's been underestimated, and in this moment of unexpected fortune, she chooses to take control. Yeah. To defy the rules that have, always held her back.
Yeah. And it is a risky move, but it shows her strength and resilience. And speaking of defying expectations, the climax of this investigation takes us to an exclusive golf club in Dubai.
Okay.
Okay. Steve confronts Rob Kenna, hoping to draw out Lube, but instead he encounters Mickey Moody.
Mickey Moody,
a seemingly harmless scrap metal dealer from Billericay.
Okay.
And here's the twist. Mickey Moody is Francois Lube.
What?
The criminal mastermind they've been chasing, he doesn't exist.
Wow.
It was all an elaborate fabrication, a smokescreen to conceal Moody's true identity.
It's
mind-blowing. It really is. It flips the script completely, right?
It does.
Makes us rethink everything we thought we knew.
Right. About this whole conspiracy. Yeah. And this unassuming scrap metal dealer.
Right.
The man that nobody would suspect. He turns out to be the puppet master.
Yeah.
Pulling all the strings, orchestrating all these events.
Amazing.
On a global scale. It's really a brilliant move by the writer,
Yeah, it is.
It highlights how powerful anonymity can be.
Yeah.
And the dangers of underestimating those who operate,
Yeah, beneath the radar.
In the shadows.
Yeah, in the shadows. And in the end, it is Steve, the retired policeman who just wants the quiet life, who brings Moody down using his old school detective work and his unwavering determination.
It's a satisfying conclusion to such a complex, thrilling story.
It really is. It's a testament to human ingenuity and the belief that even the most intricate conspiracies can be unraveled. But as the dust settles and our characters try to put their lives back together, we're left with this sense of unease. This world they inhabit, much like our own, is not black and white, but a very complex tapestry of moral grays.
Absolutely.
And as we conclude our deep dive into this captivating world of influencer murders, international intrigue, and unexpected heroes, we're reminded that the story doesn't end here.
Right.
There are hints of future adventures.
Oh, I like that.
New mysteries to be solved, and characters whose lives are forever changed by the events that they've experienced.
And maybe, just maybe, one day we'll find ourselves back here.
I hope so.
Ready to embark on another deep dive.
I think it will.
Guided by your curiosity, of course, and our shared fascination with the hidden complexities of what it means to be human.
Well said. Until next time.